So I'm going to hand it off to Catherine Jeandel, who's going to discuss GEOTRACES. Go, Catherine.
Thank you, Bill. Hello, everyone. I am Catherine Jeandel. I am working in Toulouse as a senior scientist of the International Project Office. So I will introduce you GEOTRACES and why we decided to do an open source for our data. Please, next slide. So GEOTRACES' mission is to identify the processes and quantify fluxes that control the distributions of key trace elements and isotopes in the ocean, and to establish the sensitivity of these distributions to changing environmental conditions. We are scientists from more than 35 nations, which are gathered and coordinated, and we are involved in the program, and our ambition is to study all major ocean basins and to establish the status of many trace elements and isotopes. Today, 131 cruises were completed, 43 full sections were completed. Almost 1,800 publications has been published, and they are in a database accessible from the website. And we published so far 3 open source data products, which have been released in 2014, 2017, and the last one, 2021, which is the one we will discuss today. Next slide. Sorry, just a rapid look at the map. The map represents the sections and the process study of GEOTRACES. And here you have the section. The sections underlined in yellow or black are done, and the red one have to be done. So as you see, we already covered considerably the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and the North Indian Ocean. We still have works to do in the southern part of the ocean and in the Pacific. Next slide. So the IDP 2021, by releasing, so the goal is very important. Why do we do this IDP operation? What do we open our data? By releasing and sharing more hydrographic and marine geochemical high quality data, we wish to strengthen and intensify the collaboration within the marine geochemical community itself, but also to invite colleagues from other communities to join us. So the IDP 2021 consists on 2 big pieces: a compilation of digital trace metal data, so more than 100,000 samples from 77 cruises, and an atlas, GEOTRACES atlas. Here you have 2 representations. On the left, the map of the kind of station and sections that you can access to, where you will find a treasure of trace element and isotope data. And what is represented on the right is a 3D representation of the dissolved iron in the Atlantic Ocean, where you can see that all along the mid-oceanic ridge, there are input of iron, as well as along the margins. Next slide. Providing an open source atlas of data which are sensitive, contamination prone, it's a challenge. And for doing that, we have to go through exigent intercalibration procedure. So how does the SNI committee, we have a committee which is dedicated to validating our data. And so we have to go through this filter when we provide data. So the analyst is contacting the standard and intercalibration committee. Then he sent his report. He or she explained the critical aspects of the method. And the external calibration is depending on several criteria, and we have to measure reference material, if possible, to analyze samples at the same station as another GEOTRACES member, provide lab intercalibration exercise if we cannot do this crossover study, or any other external validations that justify the quality of our data. And then if they are validated, the data can enter the IDP. If not, we have to redo the exercise. Next slide. So then the IDP is done. How do you access to this IDP? So this is a screenshot of the website. And you can see the arrow allows you to target where the data are accessible. And then on the next slide, you, for example, can access to the GEOTRACES Atlas. And then I will pass the word to my colleague